Hey guys, it's Owen from Mojang here, and this is the first in a series of videos that we are creating about Scrolls, which is Mojang's second game. So, I'm joined today by two of the development team. They are...
Hello, I'm Mons.
Hello, I'm Henrik.
So, Mons and Henrik are two of the guys currently making Scrolls. So, I thought today we would just go through some of the features of Scrolls. So, once you've gone past that intro screen, the first option you've got is to enter the arena. So, what's the arena about, Henrik?
Well, that's where you meet other players, and that's the center of playing Scrolls, where you have the chats where you can chat with different players. You have different chat rooms. When you enter, you'll be automatically added to one of the general chats. There will be new chats created depending on how many players are there. And there's a trading room, and there's a talk about Scrolls and tactics and stuff. And then there's the single player modes. I think the first one is the tutorial, which is a basic tutorial. We'll give you a few hints about what the game is about. And the second choice you have is a quick match against the AI, which is a simple way to test out your new deck, try stuff.
I mean, the cool thing about that is you can still earn gold from playing the AI, even though you can play on easy, medium, or hard. You earn more gold for the harder settings. It's a cool way for you to test out stuff and earn a couple of bucks, which you can spend in the store later on.
Exactly.
What else have we got there? We've got the trials. What are the trials?
Yeah, the trials. The trials is a series of matches where each one has a special set of rules, like different winning conditions and starting setups. And they're ordered also in easy, medium, and hard. You earn a bit more gold for those, but you can only get that gold once. So it's a really nice way for a new player to start.
That's the single player modes that we've got in the arena. Mons, do you want to talk a bit about the multiplayer?
Sure, absolutely. So the first mode is called the testing rounds. What happens there is you match with another player, and you play with a rule set that is custom to testing grounds, and that varies over time. So every few patches will change it, and the idea is for this is for us to be able to run experiments on the basic rule set of the game. We're currently looking at whether we need to shorten matches, for example, and that is something we can test in the testing rounds.
That's somewhere you'll go if you want to try out some new cool variants on the basic Scrolls rule set.
Yeah.
What else have we got in there?
So the second mode is ranked, and this is the main multiplayer mode, I would say. You'll play a match where you get matched against a player of roughly equal skill, and then depending on whether you win or lose, you'll climb or sink down the ladder.
And you take your own kind of custom decks into that, which you develop over time?
Absolutely. So the decks that you build will help you become a better player, but it's also important to improve your play. And then the last mode, our newest edition, is Judgment. And that is what's frequently called the limited format in other games. This means you'll play with a collection of scrolls that you draft in a special system, which puts everyone on equal footing. So the cool thing about Judgment is when you play somebody else, they will not have an advantage over you in having a better deck. So it's all about skill in the draft and then playing the game. Then you play 5 matches, and after those, you draft a new Judgment deck. So there's a lot of variation in there.
Cool. I think that's been people are really into Judgment these days, aren't they? It seems to have been a nice thing to mix up the play and for people to try out something a bit different, which is cool. You can also spectate other players' games.
Yeah, well, it's simple. You can click the little spectate button, and you will get a list of ongoing matches. You can sort them by most popular or ranked, and also choose which mode you want to watch. It's a really nice. Sometimes if you're waiting for a ranked game, you can watch another game. That's awesome. And also it's also used a lot during tournaments. We have what is called ESL, the Electronic Sports League, runs tournaments each weekend, I think, and so you can watch it in the spectate mode, or you can perhaps follow a stream that tends to use the spectate mode.
Yeah, super cool. It's a nice way to watch. You can order it by the ranking of players, so you can jump in there and see, well, this is the best player playing Scrolls right now, and I can jump in and watch his plays and kind of look at his deck and his strategies, which is a nice way to learn. So there's plenty of different ways you can kind of learn Scrolls and kind of enjoy it there. That's the arena. So nice. The next tab along, we've got the Deck Builder tab. So what's the deal with the Deck Builder?
Well, the deck builder is, in the basics of Scrolls is that you play matches, you earn gold, and with the gold you buy more scrolls to increase your collection, your library of scrolls. And in the deck builder you have all your scrolls at the top, and you can drag them down to build a deck. A deck consists of 50 scrolls, or a minimum of 50 scrolls. You can have a maximum of 3 of each. And you can basically build your deck any way you like, but whether it's a good deck or not, that you'll have to prove in the ranked.
I think there's
matches.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's quite a lot of subtlety to making a good deck, but I think over time we've added some cool new kind of graphs and stuff to help players take a look at their deck and kind of see what might be required or lacking, because there's different kinds of units and stuff which you can use in your deck. It's a nice way to show your own personality in the game when you enter ranked matches. It's kind of a cool thing to do. And we've got different factions, Mons. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. So we have the 4 factions in the game currently are Growth, Order, Energy, and Decay. And the first 3, Growth, Order, and Energy, have been in the game since the beta launch. The 4th faction, Decay, was added a bit later, so that's a new thing if you haven't tried the game since the beta. So Growth is all about being aggressive, putting things on the battlefield, trying to rush towards your opponent and grabbing that way. Order, on the other hand, is all about board presence. So they have units that affect other units on the same row, giving them buffs. They have spells to move units around the board, both your and your opponents.
I think that's kind of my favorite faction. I like the idea of setting up a kind of regiment of troops that kind of buff each other in a super cool way, in like a badass formation. It kind of feels nice to have that.
Alright, the 3rd faction is Energy. They're all about controlling the board with direct damage spells, so taking out your opponent's units, and then adding heavy hitters on the board. That'll do major, significant damage when on the board. A new thing in Energy is the theme of resource manipulation. So Energy is also excellent at gaining temporary resources and then spending them for devastating effect.
And the 4th faction?
The 4th faction is Decay. They're all about death. They have a lot of effects that trigger when your units die or when your opponent units die. And also a lot of synergy along that. So you could have a unit that draws you scroll when it dies, and then that could be stood next to another unit that grows when a unit adjacent to it dies.
Nice, although slightly morbid, but you know, it's all good. And
you can't have fantasy without necromancy.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's undead.
Another cool thing to mention with the deck builder is that you can actually mix these factions together. So it's not a case of, oh, I have to run an order deck or I have to run a growth deck. You can actually have, you know, as many different factions as you want in your deck, and you can kind of synergize the different skills together to make some really interesting combos. So the opportunity for making a custom deck is massive. I mean, it's really cool, kind of developing a library and then seeing how you can kind of mash these combos together and make some cool things. So let's move on to the next tab that we've got in the menus, which is the crafting tab. What's the deal with crafting, Henrik?
Yeah, well, you see what happens when you play a lot of scrolls, that you get a lot of scrolls, and since in a single deck you can't use more than 3, you get a surplus.
Yeah.
So we just added the crafting so that you have a way of spending those scrolls to make the ones you use look a little bit more pretty.
You kind of melt these 3 scrolls into 1 scroll.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically you take 3 scrolls, you mash them together, and then you get a shinier scroll. at the first upgrade level, that scroll tracks stats, so it shows you how many kills you have with a specific unit, for example. The second tier is a really shiny one, lots of graphical effects.
Nice. I mean, it is a cool way to personalize your deck. I mean, over time, you know, it is quite tricky to end up with lots of level 2 scrolls. And the changes are kind of cosmetic. I mean, the stats thing is cool, but then they're cosmetic tweaks. So it doesn't make your deck more powerful necessarily, but it just adds a bit of flair, a bit of personality.
Yeah.
The next thing is the store. What would I possibly be buying in the store, Mons? What kind of stuff is on sale there?
Cheese.
So it is not entirely unlikely that you buy scrolls.
I see.
So the major part of the store, the thing that you'll really want to be getting, are either random scrolls or scroll packs. These can only be bought using in-game gold, so there's no way to spend additional money on the game to buy random scrolls like this. Then there's something we call the Just For You section, and the Just For You section shows you 6 random scrolls, 2 of each rarity, that have a slightly higher chance of being something missing from your collection, so a great way to get those scrolls that you don't currently have. They can be both bought using gold and our secondary currency, which is called shards.
And the thing about the Just For You section, these scrolls are face up, so you know what you're getting.
Exactly.
Which is super cool.
But they only refresh every 3 days, so you
Gotcha.
can't buy too many of them. I think we should mention that everything in the game can be bought using in-game gold. There is absolutely no reason to ever buy shards. But for those players who want to, shards is a secondary currency that can help you buy these Just For You scrolls and the pre-constructed decks that I'll come to in a second, and the avatars, cosmetic items. But they're in no way necessary to play the game. So the pre-constructed decks, they're decks that contain a fixed set of scrolls and a certain rarity distribution. They're a good way to quickly bolster your collection without having to buy loads and loads of random scrolls.
So with the pre-constructed decks, you basically get a guaranteed selection of scrolls, which you can then use to make new decks out of. You can pull cards out of, pull some scrolls out of them, and then use them in your own custom decks, which is very cool. And as you say, it's a way to just kind of get a chunk of scrolls and kind of boost your library early on. I mean, you could either save up some gold from the trials or play some ranked matches with the basic decks and then buy these. But I mean, it's a good thing to do for, I'd say, almost every player, because it gives you a good basis to start doing
Absolutely.
deck customization.
And it's important to note that even though these can be bought with shards, they can only be bought once.
Okay, so in the store you've also got, aside from the scrolls and the different ways you can buy them, you've also got the avatars, which are kind of, the avatar is the way you present your actual character in game. Henrik, what's your favorite avatar?
My favorite avatar, I think it's the dude with a really weird leather helmet with huge mammoth tusks.
Nice.
It's awkward and weird, but I like him. Also, I love all the female avatars that Poi did.
Yeah, when Poi joined the team, she was like, "Where are the female avatars?" and kind of just created them and added them to the game, which is super cool. Yeah, Mons, what's your avatar?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm playing an avatar with really long hair because I used to have it at the time I set the avatar, but
I've got a dude with a completely awesome beard. It's unbelievably awesome. But yeah, maximum beard for my guy. But yeah, the cool thing is you can tweak the head and the body and the legs, and you can kind of mix and match the different bits from different places. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so the next 2 places that you can visit from the arena are the settings menu, which are kind of, the obvious things, change your resolution and that kind of stuff. On your profile page, you can check where you stand in the leaderboards and kind of look at how well you're doing and going up the ranks. Edit your avatar, which we discussed a bit just now, and look at your achievements. Now, that's a new addition to the game. What's the deal with achievements?
But the cool thing about achievements is each achievement gives you 100 gold, which is 1 random scroll. So there's 85 in total, so you can sort of, if you want to, you can chase the achievements to build up a scroll collection. There's the regular win a match, win 10 matches. There's achievements for being nice to others in the chat, nice and friendly.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Or achievements for having enough bunnies.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah. Who wouldn't want an achievement related to bunnies? That's rad. Well, I think that goes through our kind of the basic things that we've got in Scrolls at the moment. I think we're going to do more of these videos, and we'll kind of talk about some more detailed things and some tactics and some more specific stuff from the devs. But we thought we'd do a nice kind of opener, a nice introduction to how the game has evolved since beta. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and we will speak to you again soon. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
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 Say bye-bye, Henrik.
Bye bye.